Big talk. People see civil engineer title by your name and you think, you're living fancy, your life is this lavish thing. But nah, they don't really know that behind the scenes, you know? I am Mabula. Welcome to my channel. And I'm a civil engineer professionally. I'm going to be talking about my life as a civil engineer so far. I have 2 years of experience, over 2 years of experience actually. And now I'm pursuing my master's. So, as a civil engineer, I studied my BTech in SITM, which was affiliated to Assam Science and Technology University, ASTU. And SITM, for those who don't know, is Scholars Institute of Technology and Management, based in Assam, Guwahati, Assam, India. And after that, after graduation, I came back home, or I went back home, because right now I'm in Turkey. I went back home where I started my career with a small workshop with architects and some other professions, where we were building eco-friendly stadium in Kick for Life. Kick for Life is like a sporting facility for youngsters who wants to be professional soccer players, right? So we are building a mini stadium for them. That's how it started. Some of the things that I learned while I was there is that it doesn't matter what degree you hold, it doesn't matter where you're from, in most cases. Because degree alone cannot build a person. You need experience. If you don't have experience, people are not going to take you serious. For real, they're not. So you need experience. You need experience to do a lot of things. And yeah, you might come with a huge degree, but if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. You know, some things I picked them up when I was in field, and yeah, I'm glad that I was, what's the word, friendly enough to my peers and friendly enough to my co-workers to talk to them like, I don't know what you're doing, can you explain? And they would explain, this is how you do this is how you do that. So I'm thankful for that. And yeah, after some months, I had to sit home because the workshop was over. I had to sit home. Luckily, my father's a surveyor, so I was working with him, helping him here and there. And it was hard. Like, I remember they had to call me down sometimes because when you have, after graduation, that's when, like, you have to choose, right? And then that's when the reality check hits. It hits you and you're there like, damn. So what am I going to do now? How do I do? You start comparing your life. You start doing this. You start a lot of things. And one thing I must tell you, never compare. Just keep on the steady path. Everybody has their own time. Your time might be now, might be tomorrow. You never know. But keep on steady path, right? But at that time, I didn't know. I was giving my parents a headache because I was comparing my life. Like, yo, guys, stress, you know. Luckily, my family sat me down and I cooled down. And then a year later, that's when I started working professionally. I started as a graduate engineer. I helped build or bring one of the best dealerships in the world to my country, which is a Isuzu dealership. So it was like my biggest project after graduation, like biggest, you know. So I worked my ass off. Like, yeah, one thing they don't tell you when you work as a professional, because you transit from a graduate to associate. So when I was an associate, I would fight a lot with my boss. Reason being, you would think you know a lot, and also your boss too, because of their own money sometimes, they think they know a lot, right? So there'll be some back and forth between you guys sometimes. So you would fight a lot. Sometimes you have to stand your ground if what you're saying is true. You should know how to stand your ground. Reason being, yeah, he will pressurize you because he doesn't know much. So you have to stand your ground if you know what you're saying is true. Yeah, you will fight with bosses, like, you will fight, but remember he's your boss. And also remember that when you're fighting with them, you use basic knowledge because they don't know what you did or what you're doing, because most of them are not civil engineers as you. So you have to explain them using smaller terms. Don't bring concrete knowledge in the world. They don't know that. Don't bring simple word language to them. Explain them in simpler terms. Like, I'm saying this because 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I wish I knew before fighting with him, because yeah, actually we fought a lot with him, but he was a good guy, even though he gave me stress sometimes and I gave him stress sometimes. But he was a good boss because he would sit me down and be like, my guy, I don't understand, explain. You know what I liked about him? You know, you see how I'm holding my hands. He would sit there and be like, my guy, I don't understand. Explain. Oh, okay. And then it's like, okay, then how are we going to do that? Because we have to talk finances too. And then you're like, it's not my work. My work is to generate that, not talk about money. And it's like, no. You can't say you want to do something without thinking about money. And then you're like, damn, I remember they taught me money stuff. I remember they taught me construction costs. They taught me all that, BQs and all. And you're like, oh, damn. So I was being prepared for this, you know? And then that's when you have to know how to match those two worlds. Your ideas and money, the budgeting and your ideas, you have to match them. And you have to also remember that you're talking to people who don't know what you want to do, but they want a certain result. So you have to remember those kind of things. And I wish like I was prepared enough for that, but also I'm glad that I went through such, because I was able to learn a lot from that. So one thing, long hours, there's long working hours, there's early mornings, late nights, stress, all that. And also the other thing is, you never stop learning. So it doesn't mean since you are graduated and all that, you close your books, you are done, you're going to work. No, you never stop learning. Because you might say, I still remember what is Mars, I still remember what is force, I still remember that. But the way you use them, it's different. You don't just say, for that, nah, it's different. The way you apply them on field is different, totally different. In the real world, it's totally different. That's why we need internships too. I wish I did a lot of internships, because for me, I did one internship, and in that internship, I was before graduation. So sorry for that. So for me, I did one internship, and in that one internship, I was in the planning sector, construction side, but planning sector, where we looked at plans, assessed the plans, and decided whether or not we can go through with the plans so that we can send them to the designing team. So I wish I had more internships. We need more internships. That's what I want to tell everybody who's still in college. You need more internships. Do at least 2, 3, 4, like as many as possible, so that they train you or they prepare you for the later. For the latter, like, yeah, those stages are difficult. Yeah. There's the real world and the design world, like I was saying. The real world is the world where we talk about finances, talk about stakeholders, people who are involved in that. The design world is the world where you are alone, you're designing this, thinking about it, like, yo, I'm doing calculations, 1 + 2 = 2, you know, you're doing all that. But after all that, you need to go to the real world. And the real world is where the challenge is. That's when you're like, damn, how do I place this on this soil? The soil properties are different. How do I convince my client and let them know that since the soil properties are different, it's going to cost them this much? I remember that project cost more than the client has anticipated, like a lot more, 30 times more. So we had to come up with new ideas. And since I was back from school, I just came out of school and my mind was still fresh. They asked me questions, and that's when I was like, damn, it's time to fly, spread my wings and fly. And I came up with ideas and they listened to them. We went back and forth with the senior engineer, structural engineer. He helped me out here and there, and it was nice. It was nice. All right. And yeah, since you're studying, the pay, you don't expect high pay, man. You're studying. You're still an engineer. A graduate. You don't know a lot. So yeah, some people think since now you are working there, right? They think like, no, Mix is working there, he's building this, he's supposed to be rich or something. They don't know the reality of those kind of things. That's why I'm saying don't expect or don't listen to the pressure or expectations of others, because it will lead you astray. Yeah, we're not all the same. It will lead you astray. You will find yourself deep in the gutters because you listen to Neo talking about Neo, you know. So also the other thing is, one thing that you must know is your constant responsibility. You are signing your drawings. That's number one. Number two, you check your sites. You answer questions. Contractors look at you. Clients depend on you. If something goes wrong, all of them, they're like, hey, Max, what happened? For real, they're like, what happened? Although sometimes you're not even there. Reason being, as an engineer, you're responsible for everything. You get it? You're responsible for everything. You're responsible for everyone. The safety of everyone depends on you. The safety of financial stakeholders too depends on you. The client may ask you, like, I want you to reduce the costs. What are you going to do? You know, reducing costs is going to cause you problem for the structure of the building, yada, yada, yada. So what you going to do? Yeah, you have to think. Like, everything depends on you. And also remember, you have to sign everything. Your signature is there. So they can terminate your contract or you can be suspended as an engineer if anything goes wrong. So the load on your shoulders is huge, right? Like, a lot happens. So you have to learn those things. Like, you have to know, familiarize yourself with those things. Because if you don't, my friend, you're not fit for that industry. And remember, all come together to build your maturity. Get it? Faster. You get paced. You get a high pace of maturity. Now you're like, so next time when I'm doing a project, I have to look this, look that, do this, do that. You're not familiar. Some days are very unpredictable, very unpredictable. Like now, it's raining outside. Tomorrow it might be sunny. Like, your industry is like a weather. Tomorrow it's happy. Some days it's smoother. Some days it's smiling. Some day Michael Jackson. Like, you never know. Mixers break up smooth. Like, some days are very smooth. Some days are very difficult. You never know. And one thing you must know, you're not a problem maker. You're a problem solver for all that. Whatever happens, you're always going to have to solve. I remember one of the stairs or one of the sections started cracking. We were called to side. We had to brainstorm what's the matter. That's number one. You have to find the problem in order to solve the problem. So now I'm there stressing, asking myself, did the contractor go through everything written down in the notes, or he cheated? Because contractors, even if not the owner of that construction company, but some of his side workers, they can, So I was thinking. I had to brainstorm ideas and then look into the matter and think about everything. And that's when we realized that, and came to a conclusion that if they really mean what they're saying, because we had our own guy on site too, that everything was done in a perfect way. The only thing that they might have not done is 1, 2, 3. So the solution to that is 1, 2, 3. So just know that you're always going to be asked questions about solving something. So you're always going to have to solve a problem. You just don't build things. You have to solve problems too. Sometimes there will be problems like, it's raining, the road is flooded. What can be a solution to that? The city is congested. There's too much traffic. What can be a solution to that? There's so many things you have to solve. Sometimes, even if you don't have money, but people who can finance that, you can solve that by reaching out to those people and showing them what you have. Like, this is what I have. This is the idea. This is what I need. You show them everything. You prepare the presentation and all, and then you execute and you solve the issue. And yeah, believe me, people don't see the hard work. And I'm saying this because even your girlfriend, your wife, sometimes they don't see the hard work. You can tell them, even your family, even if you tell them like, I'm so tired, I need to sleep. They're like, you're always sleeping. After work, you're always sleeping. Nah, they don't see that. Believe me, they don't see that. You are the one who knows what you're doing. Right? So you should understand those two. But that doesn't stop you from being human, man. We're all human. Also, one thing about civil engineering is not a rich, quicker career. You don't just wake up and be like, I'm rich. No. You work. You solve problems in and out in order to have money. So for those who are looking for money here, my friends, no. Here we work. Yeah, you do it because you love something. You're not doing it because you really want to be rich, But one thing I want you all to know, it's very beautiful. Civil engineering is very beautiful. The beauty of civil engineering is, like I said, I was part of the group that brought Isuzu to Lesotho. I was part of the group that is still building, because I'm no longer that part, still building a huge dam in Lesotho. I was a part of a group that built some roads in Lesotho. So that makes me proud. Sometimes when I tell my lady, when I tell my parents, I'm like, it was done by me, me. I know I'm not literally written there, but my company's written there. I worked for that company, but I was there, and I have blueprints to show it. Oh yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful. So yeah, anybody who falls in love with this, or you're still in college, or you're stuck, man, just know civil engineering is not a rich quick career, but it's a beautiful career. You can do a lot with this career. What goes in civil engineering, most people don't see and don't expect them to see, because like I said, it's a very broad career. But keep in the good work, love the career as a very beautiful career. It's been your boy Mabula, and yeah, if you liked it, please like the video, comment, and subscribe. You can share it to anybody you want to share it with. Titos, bye bye.